This is Fox 21 Local News right now at 9 p.m.
Right now on Fox 21 News at 9, the hunt continues for a Woodland Park mother after investigators pack up their search of her fiance's property. What we know tonight.
And how the good people behind the bar at one coffee chain stepped up to help a local teenager in the fight of his life. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Ferrara.
And I'm Scott Kilbury. First on Fox 21 tonight, an update to the breaking news we first brought you earlier this evening. A neighborhood on the southwest side of Colorado Springs breathing a sigh of relief as things returned to somewhat normal after police surrounded the West Meadow Peaks apartment this evening for a woman who refused to come out and believed to be armed.
For over an hour, people who live in the apartment complex were not allowed home and others were evacuated or told to shelter in place and stay away from windows.
Just before 7, police used flashbangs and the woman did surrender. First on Fox 21 News, our other top story. It's been 25 days now since Colorado mother Kelsey Barrett disappeared.
Still no sign of her and no arrests have been made even after a search of her fiance's house over the weekend.
Fox 21's Carly Moore went to Woodland Park today to see what new developments she could find out. Carly, what'd you find out?
Not much. Teller County Sheriff told us that updates would be coming from the CBI. CBI told us the Woodland Park Police Chief would still be updating us. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions, but the one on everyone's mind, where is Kelsey Barrett?
Nearly a month has passed since 29-year-old Kelsey Barrett was last seen, leaving people in Woodland Park thinking the worst.
I know that a lot of time has passed, and with time things do sort of become a little bleaker.
Woodland Park Police Department being tight-lipped about the investigation, releasing no new information Monday other than to say because the search warrant of the property was sealed, there are no details available about what they found.
When it comes to police activities and investigation, I can understand why they will keep things tight-locked.
They also contacted the CBI with a number of specific questions. This was their response. These are great questions. Investigators continue to follow up on leads and tips that have been reported since Kelsey's disappearance. While we cannot comment on the specifics of Kelsey's case, the team is working nearly around the clock on this investigation that, as the chief stated, is the department's #1 priority. With officials not being forthcoming about this missing persons case, this has led people filling in the blanks on their own.
Well, when something like this happens and there's no, real knowledge of what happened, people will make their own assumptions and start jumping to conclusions.
This neighborhood is believed to be where Kelsey Barrett lived before her disappearance. We talked to some of her neighbors who said she kept to herself. Maybe they just saw her getting her mail or coming in and out. We went to see if any family was at her house, but shortly found that her door was taped closed with red tape with numbers on it. It appears to be Saturday's date. Neighbors also telling me the red truck removed from Patrick Frazie's home during the search was Kelsey's because neighbors have seen her drive it home.
People go to the mountains to get away from craziness.
The couple's daughter is currently in the fiance's care. Police say there is no reason to arrest him or take their daughter at this time. A $25,000 reward is still being offered for anyone with information on where she is. Guys.
Same story. Thank you so much. Well, 2 people arrested in connection with a deadly shooting Friday night. 49-year-old Tony Lawson is charged with first-degree murder, and 18-year-old Zachary Lawson is charged with felony menacing. 28-year-old Brandon Coffin of Peyton died in that shooting. This all went down around 11 p.m. in a commercial building parking lot on Geiger Court near Platt and Wooten. 2 men and a boy were seriously injured. Coffin's death is the 36th homicide in Colorado Springs this year. At this time last year, there were 31.
In Pueblo County, the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly car wreck which resulted in the closure of US 50 and nearly 2,000 homes and businesses without power. Deputies responding to the area near the intersection of Spalding and Bayfield Avenues just before 10:30 last night. At the scene, deputies found a 30-year-old man who was thrown from his car after hitting a power pole and fire hydrant and rolling several times. The driver died of his injuries from the crash at a local hospital. Alcohol and high speed are considered factors in the accident. US 50 was closed for a while because of the low-hanging power lines, and power has yet been restored to the area.
In Colorado Springs, a man is facing multiple charges after he apparently left the scene of a crash that seriously injured another driver Sunday morning. This happened around 9:45 at the intersection of Uinta and Circle. Police say a pickup truck was heading west on Uinta, ran a red light, and hit an SUV that was headed south. The driver of the SUV was hospitalized with serious injuries. 44-year-old Jared Durham was arrested a short time later. Police say he was driving under the influence of drugs, and the truck he was driving was stolen. And police are looking for 2 women who robbed a Colorado Springs business at gunpoint Saturday night. The robbery happened around 8:30 at a business on South Nevada, just south of Interstate 25. The 2 women demanded money from an employee and got away with cash.
A local high school student battling stage 4 cancer, getting some big support from the community.
Last month, after doctors found a tumor in his chest, Coronado senior Noah Richardson was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma.
Fox 21 today, all 6 Dutch Bros location in Colorado Springs, donating 100% of the proceeds to Noah and his family.
Fox 21's Sarah Ferguson met with Noah today and those who organized this event.
Everybody loves him. He's easy to embrace. He's a great kid.
That's Rob Stinson. He's the former football coach of Noah Richardson and says when he heard about the teen's diagnosis, he immediately wanted to help.
It was a punch. It was brutal. Like I said, you don't expect that in your circle. And to have that come down to a kid like him, it was hard.
So he coordinated with Dutch Bros and organized the event Monday for Noah.
It's been really busy. It's such a blessing to have so many people come out.
With all 6 Colorado Springs locations donating 100% of their proceeds to Noah and his family.
It's huge, you know, knowing that we're going to be okay financially. That's one less thing that we have to worry about.
And for Noah's family, the extra help right before the holidays is something words can't even begin to describe.
Completely overwhelmed and so grateful, both for Dutch Bros and for our community. I mean, it's phenomenal to see people pull together like this.
Supporting Noah, a teen who's remained strong despite his diagnosis.
I still want to live my life, you know, and just because of my condition, that's not going to change.
I'm Sarah Ferguson reporting in Colorado Springs for Fox 21 Local News right now.
I love that.
Yeah, and the mom really summed it up greatly, how the community has responded. This has been great. And if you'd like to help out, there is actually still time. 5 out of the 6 locations stay open until 11.
And there's one off Austin Bluffs and Academy that stays open until midnight for this event.
So check it out if you can.
And in more local news, one local church giving back this morning to help celebrate the Christmas season. The Divine Redeemer Catholic School and Parish handing out 150 Christmas hams and all the fixings for Christmas dinner. They also handed out personal toiletries to those in need. The Divine Redeemer Catholic Food Pantry has been in existence since 1969. They serve more than 75 families each week. The food pantry is supported entirely by the parish and the school community.
Well, over the river and through the woods.
Travelers will be hitting the roads in record numbers when the biggest crowds are expected.
And while the president tries to focus on the wall, the number of troops on the border is actually dwindling where it stands now.
And the former director of the FBI sits before Congress again. How James Comey lashed out at leaders on Capitol Hill.
This is Fox 21 Local News right now at 9 p.m.
Well, get ready for busy roads this week. More than 1/3 of all Americans will travel this holiday season, according to AAA.
And more Americans will travel by car this season than ever before. Fox 21's Taylor Bishop tells us what we can expect on the roads in the next couple of days.
Scott Lauren, this Thursday, December 20th, is expected to be the nation's worst day to travel. 102.1 million people are expected to pack up their cars for road trips this week ahead of Christmas. That's 4.4% higher than last year and the most since AAA actually started tracking holiday travel back in 2001. Well, the experts at AAA have several suggestions for making your drive merry and bright. Before you head out, make sure maintenance is up to date on whatever vehicle it is you're taking. Have your tires inspected, especially if you're going on a long drive. Next, map your route in advance and, of course, consider leaving earlier or later to avoid heavy traffic. Well, there are several mobile apps you can download that give you up-to-date traffic time. Keep anything of value, presents you may be taking to family or personal items in the trunk, covered up so they're not visible. Have roadside assistance contact info on hand in case of a breakdown or accident. Finally, keep a cell phone